So you've used the MC-808 editor to change the names. The first thing you need to do is to write the patches into memory here. So select card, shift up until we hit a patch, which is the 1000 mark. Okay. Now I've already saved these, but normally there'll be an asterisk here just in front of the name, which is telling you that you have to write it. If you switch the machine off at this point, you'll lose all the names that you put in. Basically, to make sure you write to the right patch, you hold down shift and do write, and it'll come up and it'll tell you to do you want to save it within that particular named patch. So we say yes, yes, sure, let's write it. Writing's complete. The first time you do it, it takes slightly longer and you'll see some flashing going on here in the keyboard. Do that for each of the 5 sounds, or as many sounds as you've got. Otherwise, as I say, you switch the machine off, you switch it back on again, and all the names have gone. The patches will still be there, but the names will have gone. Right, the song we were working on consisted of 5 tracks, and the tempo was 98. The tempo is currently showing at 138. So what you need to do is to set up a pattern. So I'll switch it back. We've got an empty pattern here. I've already renamed this one Sweet Home. Switch to a pattern. We're at pattern 53, and we're set to part 1. And what I'm going to do is to set the tempo, so I hit tab and a tempo down to 98, which I know is the tempo of the samples, and then exit. So that sets it at 98. What we now need to do is to select the sample that we want on patch 1. So again, over to patch, and we don't actually want the 3 on bass. The first one we'll do is we'll have the intro as the first track. So I change it to the first track, and then I press what would be note C. Okay, so that's what we want to work with. In order to be able to save this pattern that we're creating, it needs something in it. If I try and save it now as a pattern, I'll get absolutely nothing. So switch back to pattern. If I go right, it tells me empty pattern. There's nothing in there. Nothing will appear until such time as you write something in. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We're going to record that patch onto that track. So to do that, I hit record and I turn the dial, and I'm going to use step record, and I hit enter. I then page across, so we're in 4/4. I actually want it to be 8 bars because that's what the original was that we were using on Garageband. And I'm actually going to take the velocity down a little bit to say 118, just so the velocity is not too loud. Okay, and now all I need to do is to hit play. What it comes up with is it shows you where you are with regards to the measures. So we're at measure 1, part 1, and it shows the length of the note. Now obviously the length of the sample that we have is a long sample for that intro. It's for the full 8 bars. So what I need to do is to write that in. Okay, and you'll see that the measure marker has moved up to number 2. If I hit number 2 again, all that'll happen is it'll keep playing that intro. So if I actually want it to continue, then allow the sample to play, I hit enter and then stop. Go back to the beginning. Fantastic. Okay, the first sample's written in place, the intro. The first thing I'm going to do is to write this pattern into memory. Are you sure? Yes, I am. If I don't do that, then obviously again switch the machine off and on, or do something else, move to another pattern, and I'll lose what I've already created. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the drums in. So move to number 2, and what I'm going to do is to go and find the drum patch. Okay, card, shift, see Sam up around the 1000 mark and stop. Okay, so come back, so that's the keyboard, intro, GU for guitar, drums. So try that. Great, drums are there. So track 2, drums. Now what we need to do is to record. On the original, of course, the drums actually come in on the 3rd bar. Okay, so what we're going to do is again step record, number 2, hit enter, hit play, and what I do this time is I forward on to 3, I hit drums, goes up to 4, and then I hit enter. Once I'm at 9, stop, go back. Now hopefully we should have the intro and then the drums coming in on the 3rd bar. And the drums should then play for the continuation of the piece. Fantastic. Again, straight away, let's write that. Right, so the next thing is move to track 3, over onto the patch, card again, wind up to our samples, okay, so what we're going to do now is to put the keyboards in, and just check that. Fantastic. Okay, so go back to our pattern, number 53, hit record, and then play. Again with the keyboards, it actually comes in on the 3rd part. So again, so 1, 2, we're now showing 3. Hit the keyboard and press enter a few times, stop, rewind, play. Fantastic. Okay, so right, yes, 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 saving. Okay, so again, move on, card, what I'm going to do now is to put in the bass part. Now the bass part, unlike the others, is only actually a couple of bars itself. Okay, so go back to pattern. So if you play that, and then it stops. Okay, so we're going to have to be careful putting that one in. So again, record, enter, play. It comes in at the same place as the others, so let's move 2 forward. Okay, and now what I want to do is to hit that once. Okay, enter once. Twice. enter, enter, stop, rewind. Whoops, I've screwed that up. Okay, completely screwed that up. Right then, so what I'm going to need to do now is to actually to erase that track. So what I do is I do Shift and then Erase, and you'll see all the lights come on. And this is where we have to be really careful. So deselect the first three because we're happy with them. The rest of them you can just leave on, it doesn't really matter. We're going to do all 8. We hit enter. Okay, and now we're back to the beginning again, and if we play, okay, so stop. So our bass, right, so record, enter, play. Bass needs to start at 3. Bass, enter, bass, enter, bass, enter, stop, play. Great, so that's the bass done. So just one track to go, and we're going to go for the other guitar. So again, Shift, wind up to where I are, and then come back the guitar. So let's test that. Okay, so that's the guitar, back on track. So, and play. 2 forward, 1, 2, and 1, 2, stop, back. And there we have it. We have all of the pieces in place. So we've taken Sweet Home Alabama off Garageband on the Mac, converted the samples, put them on the MC-808, renamed the samples on the MC-808, and then put them together in a pattern on the MC-808. And I'll just do the final save. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. This has been Fixed It. Cheers. Thanks.